Will the Caterpillar ever be given the ability to have detachable modules and ability to be outfitted for different scenarios like it advertises on the website? Or will we be looking at a Mark II version in the future?
Again, speaking from my point of view, I don't want to Mark II the Caterpillar. I want to pretty much fully redo it to its current state, not as a Mark II, and give it the modularity. So we've recently been working on the Caterpillar in a very limited scope to support the command module feature, and that sort of highlighted just how old that asset is. Again, like you said, every ship we do, we learn from. Yeah. So going back to something that at this point is probably about 10 years old was quite an experience for some of the artists who worked on it. And yes, we still want to do modules. The Caterpillar, as you know it and love it, will look broadly the same when we do that. But expect it to be brought up internally to the current standard that you see in the Ironclad.
You want to talk about any of the modules you're considering?
We never officially disclosed any, I believe, but
broadside.
There will obviously be a cargo one.
I don't give a crap about a broadside module.
I'm sure there will be a combat one.
Broadside. I want cannons, the doors open, cannons on
roll
the
the
side.
cannons out.
I want broad, or if it's got to be on one side, and then we got to turn around like an old sailing ship, like to do the other side. Broadside cannons.
I'd love to do broadside cannons.
Scientific module.
You heard it here. John Crew commits to doing broadside module for Caterpillar. He committed to it.
Yeah.
Him wanting to do it is the same as Money in the Bank.
Other modules will be available.
So here's a good follow-up question. What criteria does a ship need to meet before being selected for a rework or a Mark II?
Okay, multiple layers to that. So obviously, it needs to sort of have reached a point where it just isn't fulfilling its role in the game. And we'll use the Aurora Mark I as the example here, because that had both a gold standard and a Mark II. So the Aurora, one of the first 5 ships in the game, it had changes quite a long time ago, but StarCitizen now as a game compared to where it was, say, 5 years ago is very different. The missions are different, the gameplay is different, and what we wanted to do with that ship just couldn't be done with what the Mark I was without fundamentally changing it. So at that point, we decided, let's upgrade the Mark I to current methodologies of how we build ships, make it look really good, give it as much as we physically can in the space we have available. That's gold standard. You can play the game with it now. You can competently do things. You can't do everything. And again, it's a starship. You don't want it. Not all ships should be able to do everything. It gives you a great taste of the game. Mark II, same ethos, current styling visuals. So Mark IIs are for where the Mark I is fine, but we want to radically change the visuals primarily of the ship. Mark I Hornet to Mark II Hornet, both medium fighters, both have pretty terrifying gun loadouts, visually very different. Aurora's the same, very visually different. As to how and when, primarily that's a resources point of view. There's only so many people that work on ships. They can't do everything all at the same time. We have to pick and choose. We're doing the Kraken at the moment. That's a big investment of time of people. If we weren't doing that, we could do a lot more smaller things. So again, at the director and executive level, we're deciding almost like a year in advance where we spend our tokens to develop things. So we have to hit that criteria of there's a valid need for it. Do we have the staff available to do it? And also, is it sort of something the community wants? Not to dismiss some ships over other ones, there's more value to things like the Aurora and the Hornet that have been here a long time, right, getting a gold standard and a Mark II than a more modern ship.
Yeah, it's you say most of the 2027 ship schedule is already set, and so that's how far ahead of time many of these decisions are made. Sometimes we can fudge a little bit
Yeah,
here.
we try very hard.
Like
when we start a ship, we don't stop it because it's
try.
We try the occasions.
Banu merchant.
We try, but it can be very disruptive internally for like stopping. Like, are we releasing this? Are we not releasing this? Are we stopping? Are we starting? So once we start something, we try and see it through all the way to the end. And some of these ships can be 6, 12, 18 months for development. So I could say here today, we're gonna do X ship. You might not hear about that for another year or so.
All right. Please improve gamepad support for StarCitizen. The current PlayStation controller key bindings are completely non-functional, and Xbox controller key bindings and curve settings also have significant problems. The controller configuration and overall gamepad compatibility needs to be completely reworked. Now, this is one of those things, I remember we did the holiday live stream, not that one, a different one in 2015, whatnot, where Chris played the game live, and he played on a gamepad. You played Star Citizen, on a gamepad. I play Baldur's Gate 3, whatnot. I play it on PC. I still prefer to play it on a gamepad, even when I'm playing on PC. It's, for some people, it is just the preferred control scheme. What, if anything, are we doing to support gamepad?
So there, again, for Squadron, because like you say, tons of people play PC games with controllers, and I do it myself personally, is that I connect my DualShock controllers up to my PC so I can play it, and then when I go to my PS5, I'm not having to muscle memory relearn everything. So there's been a lot of work on the Squadron side to improve that will come back to Star Citizen. Again, it's not just why doesn't someone just copy the file from here to here and make it work? The flight systems are different, the hints are different. It's a very different tailored experience. It won't just like work out the box. So it does need some fine tuning. Again, the flight model is different in Squadron to where it is right now in Star Citizen. The quantum experience is different for where it is right now in Star Citizen. So you can't just copy it over. But a lot of work has been done to make that experience be better, and for a whole range of other peripherals. It's not just the big ones. It's just for...
If you can say one thing, is like Star Citizen is very supportive on all the different peripherals that exist.
Yes. Yeah. I think as long as, Chris is a champion, of course, but I really, it's Benoit. As long as Benoit is here, this man, I've never met anybody that's more engaged by peripherals and any piece of interactive tech, whether it's Tobii or whether it's VR or whatever, it's D-Box and whatnot. It's whatever we can do to allow people to play this game the way that they want to play is going to be a priority from our technical teams and stuff like that. So, and that includes gamepads, but not at the exclusion of full sim rigs and stuff. We want to, maybe we're silly, but we want to do it all, and we believe we can. So.